Oh, it finally happened after all these years of kegging. I had this spare bottle out in the garage. I was setting up for Paul Wicksteed's brew day, by the way. Moved the table and the support under the table knocked over the gas bottle. It fell right in front of me, slow motion. I couldn't stop it, couldn't catch it, missed it. And it fell down. Of course, it falls the heavy way, like that, straight onto that gauge, and it stuffed the high pressure gauge. Anyway, replacements can be bought very cheaply. I think this was $10 to $12 from Keg King. It is a Keg King regulator, of course. Replacement gauge. Now I'm just going to quickly take the old one out, put the new one in. So here it is up close. You can see it's still brand new. I've still got the plastic on the dials. That's the low pressure dial, that's fine. It's the high pressure dial here. You can see it's still, when it fell over, that cover did pop off. And that's actually after I pushed it down and straightened it a little bit. But the actual whole regulator itself is still working, and it's not leaking from here in any way. So it can be used. I just don't have a, this gauge isn't working. So I won't know when the bottle's going empty. Besides that, I run out of gas. So there it is there, the broken one. It's actually a square and not hexagonal. Might be able to pick that up. Probably not. But I might have to bend it back to get me spinner on there. And it's a normal thread of anti-clockwise to take it off. Just be gentle, because if it is stuck, they do use a Loctite sometimes, some form of Loctite or seal. You don't want to be putting all the pressure on your thing and continue to undo it. There you go. And you can see the damage there. Well, of course you want to try and be as clean as possible. There is a seal in there, a rubber seal, or nylon or silicone or whatever it is. Get your new gauge, and you might want to put a little bit of tape on it. Now I do have a yellow gas thread tape. Can't find it at the moment, but a normal type of thread tape will be fine. Now you want to put a few turns on it, because you want it to be tight, but you also want to be able to adjust it so your dial's facing the right direction. So you want a little bit of give, without leaks, of course. So put a bit on there and just screw it in. Make sure you get the thread right so you don't cross thread it. I don't think I've put enough thread tape on this. I'm going to put some more on. That tape I was using was incredibly thin. I'll use this thicker tape. Won't need as much. They would have tightened them and be airtight, but I wouldn't have been able to adjust the dial to where I would have wanted it. Would have been facing the wrong way. This one's heaps thicker. Hopefully that's enough. Too much now, I can't get it in. There we go. That's much thicker. Now just be careful, you don't want to break the dial. So you might start using the nut once it starts getting tight. Now am I going to be able to go? You don't want to come backwards to loosen it off. I think I've I should have left it back a few turns ago, I think I've gone too far. I've gone too far. So, this is what happens. So now I'll take this off again, take all the tape off, and try again. If you don't care which way your dial is facing, it doesn't matter. But I know the OCDs out there, and me, want it facing the right direction. So we'll try again. Try and keep the thread tape from the bottom of it, or you might not get a good seal. Against the seal inside there. Oh, we'll try that. Get any of the old tape out. Third time lucky. I think we might have hit the jackpot on this one. I don't know. Oh. I know it won't make another rev. Is that going to leak? There's one way to find out, isn't there? It's nice and tight. There's a lot of pressure everywhere in there now, even though this takes the full pressure anyway. There's probably no need to turn that on. Of course, the old soapy water trick. You can use star sand, some people say don't, but you want to wipe off any residue anyway. That looks fine, I can't see any leaks there. No bubbles. So there you go. It's as easy as that. As I said, $10 or $12, and you're done. And just a reminder of what I quickly said before: when you're tightening it up to get it in the right position, you don't want to have to turn it back the other way to loosen it, to get it in the right position, like loosening it off, because you'll end up getting leaks. So yeah, try and get it right, or get it right the first time in. And another thing, if you're unsure and are worried about it leaking, turn your gas on. That'll build your pressure up in your lines. And turn it off again. Don't use the relief valve, just leave it like that. As long as your connections are tight everywhere else, you shouldn't be losing gas. So if you do lose gas, it's more than likely from where you've screwed in your new gauge. So leave it overnight, see if the pressure's dropped. Be mindful that you will get pressure changes with cold or hot weather, as you always do with bottles. See, this sits up around, what's that, 750 or something. When it's warm, if I put this in the fridge, it's likely it sits down just under 500, even though it's the same, the bottle's not getting empty, it's just from the temperature differences on the ground. Cheers.